Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Carl? Good morning.
I'm doing great. How y'all doing out there?
Morning.
Oh, it's Tuesday after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Good morning.
We got Gwen. Hey, Gwen.
You hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get my email with the bio and agenda?
Yes.
Awesome. I don't have minutes. I'll have minutes next month.
Good morning, everybody. We're so glad you're coming in. Just give us a few minutes. We just want to make sure everybody got the right links in. And then we'll start our.
Matt, how you doing? It's good to see you.
I can't get into my work computer, so I'm
Oh.
trying to work this out. Yeah, I'm trying to work this out.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Johnson. Hey, Frida.
Good morning.
Tony.
Hello, Carlotta. Good morning.
Good morning, Maurice. We see you.
All
Matt,
right.
we can't see you now. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. I hope everyone had a enjoyable weekend.
Wasn't long enough.
I know. You know, with Zoom, the weekends blend into the week, so it just.
Yeah, it was not long enough.
Yeah, just
I'm about to switch computers. I got it opened up, so I'm about to log off here.
okay.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Those who've been here before and those who are new. So glad you guys joined us this morning. Kadisha and Kashan. Nolita, Crystal, Joanne. We look forward to hearing your introduction about you and your business.
So I believe Matt is going to sign back on another computer. We will also share with you, we did send it out. Matthew and Carol Harris from SBA hosted a chamber Strength in Numbers. So we did send out the video link that he was kind enough to send us. We would like for you to review it. It was a great conversation with other chambers, specifically Black-owned chambers, about the services we offer, the services we think we offer, and what we can do now collectively in this environment. So we will resend the link to everyone on the call today and others, because it introduced me to a lot of other leadership in different counties that otherwise I probably wouldn't have met but for that forum. So I'm just speaking. You still on that, or you make it? I don't see you though.
He's on. He's just muted.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. With that said, I will turn it over to Gwen. Let me know if you're
I'm good.
okay. Then we can start.
It's on me?
No, it's on
Oh,
Gwen
okay.
actually. She's
Good morning, everyone. I apologize, no video today. Still trying to get it together. How's everyone doing today, this morning? Welcome back to work, welcome back to school, all that good stuff. And the weather has invited us, given us some an introduction to fall. So we know summer is pretty much over. It's over, y'all. So I welcome it though. I like a little chill to the weather, to the wind and everything. So again, welcome to the Chatham Business Association's monthly membership meeting. If you've never been here before, we want to welcome all the newcomers, and to those who have joined us again and our members, welcome back. I'm Gwen Shaw, and we always start our meetings off with just a moment of silence. We'll give it a quick moment because we did start a little bit late today. We want to make sure that we move the meeting efficiently and get Matt going. So if you just take a quick moment, a stretch, whatever it is that you want to do, take one quick moment of silence. Amen. That's a good one. I would stretch my neck too, Carletta. You seem to be on Spotlight. I don't know if you're on my Spotlight for some reason. I'm not sure. Is she on Spotlight for everybody else? No, just me.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think I know what Spotlight is.
Never mind. It's over with. Thank you. Okay, good. So for those of you who've never been to a meeting with us before, I can't see everyone right now. I just want to say, again, welcome. But we always start things off with a short intro of who you are, if you're a member with the Chatham Business Association, and just a little brief info about who you are. So I'm going to point to Crystal. You can unmute yourself and introduce yourself. If you're not ready, I'll go to the next person.
Oh, no, hi, yes, I've been to meetings in the past, and this might be my first one since about, I don't know, 6 months or so. I'm a lawyer. I practice on the South Side, mostly in child protection, juvenile court practice. So I'm in and out, so I just, took the chance to come in on this meeting to try to get back into rotation, I guess.
Well, welcome. Welcome back today.
Thank you.
Mr. Curtis Thompson.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Curtis Thompson. It's a pleasure to be with you all again. I'm president for the LT Group and Associates. So we're suppliers. We do electrical supplies, safety equipment, and HVAC systems, and I look forward to becoming a member. I've attended a few times. I love what you guys are doing and your programming. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis. Carletta, well, let's make sure and get Curtis an application, a membership application. He did ask for one. Thank you, Curtis.
Okay.
Becker, Joanne Becker. Did I pronounce that last name correctly?
Yes, you did. I'm the former math teacher, and I'm looking for partners in Chatham. I represent the largest solar installation company in the U.S., a woman CEO, and you do not have to buy the panels. Save lots of money and increase the value of your house.
Awesome. Thank you. Nolita, I see you're driving.
I am driving. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I have attended, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I've attended a meeting about a year ago. I actually became a member about a week ago. I own a full service salon, hair, skin, nails on 71st Street called N Beauty. And I'm just looking for, a little tutelage with moving forward.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Maurice.
Yes, my name is Maurice Johnson. I'm a CBA member, live in the Chatham area, and I am the owner of a IT company that sells computer systems, printers, monitors, accessories.
All right, put your headphone on, Maurice. We could barely hear you. Crystal, I did you already. I'm sorry. I'll give you another chance, girl. Is that Dakisha Calhoun? Did I pronounce your name correctly, Dakisha, Miss Calhoun?
And you have to unmute yourself, Takesha. You're muted.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Hi, are you able to hear me now?
We can.
All right, great. My name is Dakisha Calhoun. I am the Director of Development and Compliance at TCA Health. TCA Health has been a member of the Chatham Business Association for at least the last 4 or 5 years or so. I'm recently rejoining the organization. We are a federally qualified health center. We have a site on 84th and Cottage Grove where we provide primary medical services, including dental and behavioral health. Presently, we are doing COVID testing at our site on 84th and Cottage Grove, and we are partnering with other organizations for immunity in the community to pass out free meal boxes or food boxes this week and next week at our 84th and Cottage Grove location. So I'm really excited to be back, to be a part of these conversations, to find out more how we can collaborate and partner with the various business partners.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you so much. Let's see. Tony.
Hey, how are you? I rarely attend the meetings, but I obviously spend a lot of time with Melinda Kelly and the incredible team at CBA. I'm on the line today. I really want to hear what's going on in the community. At PNC, Melinda may have shared that, among other things, I'm leading part of our national team on what we need to do differently to grow the number of African-American businesses that have access to capital.
Thank you, Tony.
And we'll leave a few minutes at the end, Tony, for you to expound on that. He's been kind enough, as well as Gwen, to join the conversation with Congressman Kelly, Congressman Davis, and the other people who are asking us to help the businesses keep their economic floor in place, along with Carl and Frangio. But I really want to spend some time towards the end really talking about what PNC is putting forth, because I think they really have their pulse on where we are and what we need. So thank you, Tony, for joining us.
Hey, Melinda, I do have to apologize that I will have to jump off a tad early because both the state treasurer and the city treasurer have formed what's called the Achieving Equity in Banking Commission. And at the last minute, a meeting was scheduled for the last 30 minutes of yours. But I will be happy to come back because I think, next month this time, a lot will have happened. And hopefully I'll be able to give people measurably more detail on the kinds of changes you can expect. I think there's a huge lens on the banking sector right now to be more equitable in its practices, and we want to be upfront in terms of unveiling some additional new tools that are going to make it easier for our small businesses. And when I say ours, let me just come right out, African-American owned small businesses to thrive. So I look forward to it and always enjoy the conversations with you.
Thank you. Send our best to your family.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, Frangio, since Melinda brought your name up, let's go with you, young lady.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm not on camera today. I'm actually driving, but good morning, everyone. My name is Frangio Brown. I'm the Business Development Officer for Self-Help Federal Credit Union, the Seaway Division, and we are a CBA member, and I'm proud to be a part of CBA, and anytime Melinda calls to participate, I'm always willing and very excited to participate and share information on behalf of Seaway Self-Help Federal Credit Union. So thanks for having me this morning, and I look forward to sharing however you need me to share, Melinda. I look forward to being a part of that discussion.
Thank you, Frangio.
You're welcome.
Okay, Allison Collins. I didn't forget you, Frida.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead, Frida, and we'll give Allison a minute.
Okay, great, thanks. I'm Frida Madison. Good morning, everyone. You may have called me before. I don't know, Gwen, but I had gotten off for just a second and got back on, so I'm not sure. But I'm here, and welcome, and good to hear everyone. I'm Frida Madison, owner of Madison Enterprises, with my husband Kevin. We're property management, rehab and development companies on the south side of Chicago, working in our underprivileged or low to moderate income communities like Roseland, Chatham, Washington Heights, and Chatham's not so much, you know that, but I should put that at the last, but communities like Roseland, Washington Heights, Inglewood, and we love Chatham. We're members of CBA, but I also want to mention that we also participated and completed the course in the FUJA program, and I you know what, and I memorized this, I can't think of it now, but the Federal Energy Jobs Act, that's what it is, yeah. And we completed that course, yes, thanks. And now that what we've done, we're making sure that our properties have energy efficiency and alternative energy in the homes that we repair. So thanks again for that. I'm done, thank you.
Thank you, Frida. Did I miss anyone? I'm gonna go with the board members. I think I have everyone. Okay, Carl Riley. You still there, Carl? I think he got off. Oh no, I see you. You there?
Yeah.
Unmute yourself,
Phone
Carl.
was on mute. I got everything on mute, and good morning, everybody. The little man's in the back. So I'm with Fifth Third Bank. I do small business community lending. I've been with the board 2 years, and I'm here to support you guys. I think the biggest thing I would say is right now, you know, if you are looking for a business loan, you want to make sure you get your financials done within the last month, just to kind of show where you are, and make sure you establish your banking relationship with whoever you want to bank with prior to asking for a loan. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always email, call me. My number is 312-757-0098. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Carl. And we
Gwen,
just,
did you see Allison? She said, Allison, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, we'll just move along, but she's on there. She's having a little problem.
all right, let me see if I can unmute her.
Okay.
Allison, you're unmuted, Allison. Maybe she stepped away.
Okay.
Let's see, where did I leave off at? Okay, let's go with whom? How about we go with staff? Ms. Allen?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome on this gloomy day. Let's bring some sunshine inside. I am Tadelyn Beals, the Interim Executive Director for Chatham Business Association. And thank you so much for joining us to get this great information that Matt is going to share. And we are here to help with your business needs, and definitely in this time with pivoting and understanding the shift that your business needs to take to be sustainable and survive. We are here. Thank you.
You just brought in the sunshine, Tadelyn. Thank you. And Carletta with that big pretty smile. Carletta.
Hi, everyone. Carletta Kelly, Assistant Executive Director. I'm so glad you guys came and visit us today.
Okay. And I have one caller. It's iPhone caller with the number ending in 2360. You just joined us. Did you want to introduce yourself? You can unmute yourself if you want. There you go. Okay, you're connecting. Go ahead, introduce yourself. We can't hear you. Okay, we'll come back to you. Technical difficulty. So
That move button is tricky.
I don't know what happened. Go ahead, Beverly. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi guys, my name is Beverly Nall Holman, and I'm the administrative assistant here at Chatham Business Association. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Okay, and in the background, we have Adam and Charles too, if you want to introduce yourself. And we'll just keep it moving.
Charles Edwards, IT Program Manager.
Adam Oates, IT Ambassador.
And last but not least, I'm Gwen Shaw. I am the secretary, but I'm also a Chatham business owner. I own a Country Financial. I'm the first and only Black female to own a Country Financial, and I help people with protecting their income, protecting their families, and planning and providing for retirement with life insurance, with financials, with investment, everything, commercial insurance. I do it all. So I'm glad that you all can make it and that you took out time today. You could have been doing anything else. You could have been sleeping in on this rainy day, but you decided to join us, and I'm grateful for that. So without further ado, we don't have any minutes for last month's meeting. We'll have those next month for those of you that joined us last month. So, but we want to, without further ado, introduce you to our guest speaker today, who was actually with us last month. Am I right, Matt? And we just thought it would be better to have him come back and to give us the whole spiel, everything, because he was so helpful last month with our other speaker. So today we brought to you a Mr. Matthew Simpson, African-American Business Development Manager. He's also the Office of Minority Economic Empowerment in the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. So he is the father of the Community Development Strategist based in Rockford, Illinois. He has 10 years of experience working in economic development, neighborhood level community development, and public administration. His passion for entrepreneurship and business development led him to the role he occupies today as African-American Business Development Manager with the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. And without further ado, to you, I bring Mr. Matt Simpson. Take it over, Matt.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. As she said, my name is Matt Simpson, and what I'm gonna do is share my screen real quick, and I'm gonna just introduce you to the office and myself, and then just speak to some information that I think may be helpful to you, and then we can get into questions at the end. So I'm gonna share this screen real quick. So I'll be talking about the Department of Commerce Office of Minority Economic Empowerment. That's a whole bunch of multi-syllable words, and you know, in the government we make things very wordy. But essentially, there's an agency at the state government that works to do economic development. That's DCEO. Inside of DCEO, there's a number of offices that advance the work. And one of those offices is mine, where I work. It's the Office of Minority Economic Empowerment. And our role is to support minorities, women, veterans, and individuals with disabilities throughout the state of Illinois that are advancing business enterprises. So, of course, there's a number of programs and things in place to support entrepreneurship, but we have an office where we are working to, we have a focus population. We're emphasizing these individuals who oftentimes are disconnected and under-resourced. So we work with every other office, every other team, but our job is to reach and focus and emphasize those communities that find themselves disconnected. Now, we can help anybody, of course. We're knowledgeable of all of the things that are in place, but we have a special focus, and that is minority business development, veterans, women, and individuals with disabilities. So on the team, I'm a member of a team. There's 3 of us here. I just wanted to show this team. There's a Latinx business development manager. It's Diana Alfaro. There's a women's business development manager. Her name is Ivy Hart. And it's myself, the African-American business development manager. So that's Black business throughout the state. So each of us have additional populations that we work with. I also work with veterans and individuals with disabilities. Deanna's working with indigenous populations, Native Americans, and Ivy's working with Asian Americans and the Hawaiian Pacific Islanders. So we all work together. I just want to share pictures and contact information for the team so you see who's in the office. And real quickly, what I'll be talking about, we're still in the pandemic, and I just want to share some updated information about COVID-19 related resources, and then just some general resources on the back end. And I'll try to work through it quickly and respect everybody's time. First thing is, we remember the stimulus package. Trillions of dollars a few months ago was passed. And a lot of the money went to supporting small businesses. There were two bigger programs, the PPP and the EIDL. Well, the EIDL is still in place. The PPP is no longer in place. So it's just important for people to know when you say, man, I'm still impacted by COVID, my business is still hurt. Well, there's still federal money in place to support businesses impacted by COVID-19. It's called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. It's a low interest loan, up to $2 million for terms up to 30 years. And you wouldn't need to make your first payment for 12 months after you sign the promissory note. So that's 12 months having access to capital before you need to make a payment on it, which is pretty good. 3.75 is cheap money as well. It's still debt, but just thinking about if you have been impacted by COVID, there's still federal resources out there that can help you. So it's just important to know the stimulus is still there, and it's, the big part of it is the EIDL. In addition, if you're a business that already has an SBA loan in place, then they have a program where they will subsidize your current loan payments. They'll cover 6 months of payments, principal and interest. So those two things that are very helpful for people who may have not heard it or may not have been familiar with it. Economic Injury Disaster Loan is still in place. And for those businesses that already had an SBA loan, you can get 6 months principal and interest covered on your existing loan. So just a kind of maybe a recap on that. So I'll get into some state level things. The first bullet point wouldn't be relevant to the Chicagoland area, but I'll get into business interruption, rebuild, distressed communities, childcare restoration, and then business invest. So just to speak on it a little bit, there is a grant program for businesses in downstate communities or rural communities that do not already receive CDBG dollars. But Chicago already receives CDBG, and the collar counties do. So this particular opportunity wouldn't apply to us up here. I do want to get into the business interruption grant. This is important because the BIG program, July, the BIG program was announced, and this was a grant stood up to provide funds to businesses that have had their operations interrupted because of the public health guidelines. Right now, we know we're in this Restore Illinois phase steps. We're in phase 4 right now of Restore Illinois, and that is public health guidelines. So businesses and organizations know how they can maintain safety, but still engage in their regular commercial activities. We're in phase 4 right now. But when the pandemic first hit, there was a lot of businesses that had to completely cease operating. They had their businesses interrupted. So the business interruption grant has been announced. There was one round that opened and closed. And it's important that everybody knows that in probably the next 2 weeks, you'll hear about the second round of the business interruption grant. And the first round of funds was specific to hair salons and barbershops, restaurants, and fitness centers. Those were businesses that had to completely shut down. And then there were some additional opportunities for businesses in certain parts of the state where the civil unrest took place. So that window closed, those awardees have been announced. Now the second round is coming soon. And it's just important that people know and be prepared for this grant opportunity. I mentioned a loan on the top of the presentation. This is a grant opportunity. And you want to have some information in place to be prepared for it. You want to just organize your business certifications. If you are MBE, WBE, veteran-owned business, anything like that, that type of information is just helpful to have. You want to just make sure you got your tax returns already completed. Hopefully you have that done already. Bank statements are helpful, and then any financial statements, proper P&L sheets and things like that. This is information that you just want to have ready for when we announce the business interruption grant. I want to say in the next couple of weeks, you'll see round 2 of the business interruption grant. So it's coming. I just want to make sure people are aware of that. Rebuild distressed communities. This is funds that were pulled together to support those businesses in communities where civil unrest and demonstration took place. The whole world has been shook by the death of George Floyd, and Illinois was not exempt. There were communities across the state where organizers were expressing frustration, and businesses were impacted. So Rebuild Distressed Communities is a grant program through the state where businesses that have had impact will be able to access funds from $1,000 to $200,000 to deal with any damages to their business. So at this point, we haven't announced the grants for businesses. We're working with partners to organize that process and the infrastructure. But I just want to get this in front of people again. Communities across the state have been impacted, and there will be opportunities for businesses to tap into funds to help as a result of the civil unrest. So child care restoration grants. This is like the other half of the big program. The business interruption grants were working to help those businesses that had to shut down. Child care, I think, was significant enough that there was a unique program pulled together for child care businesses to tap into grants. So you see the first round was July 1st to September 30th. Second round is October 1st, November 30th. So what happens with this is you want to be involved in the INCCRRA. If you're a child care business, you probably already have registered there. So you want to make sure you're in there, and then you'll be able to tap into the second round of grants for the child care restoration program. So child care businesses, this is a piece specific to that industry. This is a state level loan program. The state treasurer has made funds available to Illinois lending institutions to loan money out to businesses impacted by COVID-19. It's called the Treasurer's Small Business Invest Program, the Illinois Small Business COVID-19 Relief Program. So this is through the Treasurer's office. He's made millions of dollars in deposits available so banks can loan money out. So this is something just to be aware of as you interact with your lender. You want to have a banking relationship. I know that the CBA talks about this a lot, but if you're thinking about programs or resources that you can tap into, that's something you want to ask your banker about. Say, hey, I heard about this Treasurer's Business Invest Program. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Does our bank participate? And if the bank doesn't, then it's not too late for that bank to enroll in the program. But that's just another piece of information that could be helpful to you in your efforts to respond to COVID. So that was state level information. And now I just want to get into some general info that's ongoing that could be helpful to businesses, whether we're discussing COVID or not. Again, on the front end, we do a lot of work with SBA. We mentioned our sister, Carol Harris. She's a great resource at the Small Business Administration, Illinois District Office. And they have a number of loan programs that can help small businesses execute projects, purchase equipment, acquire property. And oftentimes, these programs are available at banks. So, and the bank likes to work with the SBA because the SBA guarantees the money and it's less risky for the bank to work with you. You will still need to go through the bank's application process, underwriting and things like that. But there's a lot of good SBA programs that can help you access capital. And I just want to put that out there again. When you're thinking about getting that project done or growing or expanding, the SBA has a lot of things that can help. First Stop Business Information Centers. This phone number here, 1-800-252-2923, is a business hotline. So there are people who answer the phone live at times. And if you don't get someone, you can leave a voicemail and you'll get responses to any business question that you have. Right now, there's a lot of curiosity around COVID. As I mentioned, the public health guidelines, Restore Illinois piece. The big grant will be announced soon. Any questions about business, you can call 1-800-252-2923. You know, what's permitted. If you feel like there's a business that's not adhering to the public safety guidelines and is endangering individuals, if you are an employee and you feel like your employer is not providing you enough protection and support to be safe in the COVID landscape, this is the phone number you can call to it's a hotline. It's a place where you can tap into information and get questions answered. And then we have the Small Business Development Center network here. I know there's a lot of support services offered through CBA, and there's also the Small Business Development Center network throughout the state. SBDCs, on the left column you see, in the center you see the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, and on the right you see the International Trade Center. So these are centers or organizations located throughout the state that provide free technical assistance and business development support. And I mentioned the stimulus. A lot of the money from the stimulus went to the SBDCs so they can bolster their programming and provide additional support to businesses, learning how to pivot and adjust their service delivery or get out in front of customers, how to plan for emergencies. So the SBDCs have more resources to help you plan and respond to the new COVID landscape right now. So another thing to keep in mind that could be helpful to you. Small Business Environmental Assistance Program. This is really when you are doing a build out or when you are doing some type of development that could have environmental impacts on the waterways, on the air, things like that, and you're not aware of those regulations. There's a program that can help you figure out what you need to be thinking about, what regulations are in place at the state level, and that is 800-252-3998. This is the Advantage Illinois Participation Loan Program. So this is a state of Illinois loan program where they work through lenders, and minorities, women, veterans have special terms that can make a loan advantageous, and that is locked in, lower interest rate in the Advantage Illinois Participation Loan Program. What happens is you still need to work with a lender that is participating in this program, and there's a list online, and more banks can join. But once you work with your bank, you can sign in or inquire about the Advantage Illinois program, and they can the state participating in that loan mitigate some of the risk for the bank, and it will help lower that interest rate. And as I said, with minorities, women, and veterans, you can get that lower interest rate locked in. So that's called the Advantage Illinois Participation Loan Program. So this is another state of Illinois treasurer program, community uplift program. These are funds to provide low-cost loans to businesses in underserved communities. So enterprise zones, opportunity zones, low-income communities. This is just another special loan program offered through the treasurer to help specific communities. Just some information on incentives. Depending on the size of a project, I know we have a sister who says she's a developer, property manager. Depending on the size of a project and where you're trying to pull it together, there could be some incentives tax incentives on the back end, building material sales tax exemption, or some type of investment credits. So there's more information available at these email addresses to get you more info on what those could be. And then non-COVID related DCEO grant opportunities. The main one I want to have us focus on is that third bullet, the Minority Owned Business Capital Grants, or the OMI grant. So last year in June, our office, the Office of Minority Economic Empowerment, announced a grant opportunity. And earlier this year, we announced that there were 32 awardees, businesses and incubators. So right now, the OMI grant is closed, but we anticipate later this year another opportunity to have a OMI grant. So I just want to put that out there and keep everybody aware. The grants from last year were awarded, and we anticipate another grant opportunity from the OMI office. Workforce is a huge part of economic development and business operations, as you all know. And there's an office at the state that provides support to businesses in that way. So there's a lot of really interesting projects or programs that small businesses even can tap into. There's programs where you can have a portion of a wage of an employee paid as you're training them. It's called work experience or on-the-job training. So things like that to help around the workforce side, helping you pull together virtual job fairs right now to get some talent, designing job descriptions, things like that. A lot of resources on the workforce side that can help even small businesses that we interact with. PPE is still being purchased at the state, so just some more information on PPE. And then on the right, the Illinois COVID-19 Response Fund. This is a grant program for nonprofits that are doing work to support families impacted by COVID-19. And that is in partnership with the Illinois United Way. So just some more information that could be helpful to you. Again, that hotline I mentioned to you, SBA information there, the governor's COVID website, a lot of resources. And the social media is very active. I know the state Commerce Department does a lot on social media. So I would always just drive people, whatever your favorite social media is, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, connect with the Department of Commerce, and there's pretty frequent updates to those handles. Again, here is the team's contact information, and then I just want to open it up for any Q&A.
So if anyone has any questions for Matt, he just gave a lot of information.
Great.
Well, this is Tony. I'll just say, hey, definitely share that deck. That was awesome. And a lot of good direction on things we ought to be ready for.
Absolutely. And Tony, man, I appreciate the work you're doing. Happy to be a resource to you if I can.
You bet.
We also put in the chat, Matt mentioned about the SBDC. So, we have Far South Side CDC right here on Hawsuit under Abraham Lacey. So I put his contact information in there. It helps to sometimes know exactly, well, we got quite options, but know the ones who know us. I also did want to mention, I am glad to say that I have the privilege of serving on the governor's workforce innovative business engagement committee. As you know, for the businesses, as Matt mentioned, a component to growing and a component to staying the course and navigating these waters is to have a skilled workforce. And what we all know is that, or what I'm learning, is that there are a lot of things going on a regional level, on a state level. This committee, our job is to engage on a hyper-local level. So as part of that committee, those are my conversations and my communications with them to see how we work with the business community, because it all connects. The more staff you have, the more contracts you get, the more resources you can use and apply for and are eligible to receive on a state and federal level. the goal of this together is for us to keep everybody working until we pass this pandemic.
Matt, there was a question in the chat. Will this presentation be available for those who attended?
Yeah, but I can share it with you guys and you can get it out.
Thanks. Please send it to me and I'll send it out to everybody. And
Thank
everyone,
you.
please register. If you haven't registered on our website, that is the way I send out information from each meeting.
Matt, I'm not familiar with the OMI that you talked about. Can you tell me a little bit more about that loan and what qualifies? And you said it was out before.
Yep, in June of last year, I want to say May to June, the Office of Minority Economic Empowerment, which is the acronym for that is OMI. There was a OMI grant, and this was under a brother named Derek Champion and Marcus Yancey, I want to say. And they managed that grant opportunity. This was for a capital grant, so property, building acquisition, building improvements, build outs, and things like that. And there were 32 awardees. Those are listed on our website. I can share the link, so it's public information on who got that grant last year. But we anticipate, because of COVID, there have been a lot of changes and resources repositioned to provide support to businesses. But we anticipate another OMI grant opportunity later this year.
Are there checklists that the state has put out in terms of documentation needed or that they recommend we start gathering?
Yes, ma'am. There's that's the GATA process. The state passed a law called the Grant Accountability and Transparency Act. That's another acronym. We throw a whole bunch of acronyms at you. It's called GATA. And the individuals, anybody, any organization, any entity who receives any funding from the state needs to be GATA registered and certified. And that is, you need to have a DUNS number, you need to have your EIN, you need to be registered with sam.gov as well. And there's a whole guide that I can share as well that just explains what that's supposed to look like.
No, that's good, because actually Beverly in our office and Charles, they've done GATA. Not only have they done it individually, but they've done presentations for some of the state reps. So
oh, that's great.
That's what it is. That's perfect. That we're familiar with.
And you know what though? We will need, there's a lot of our businesses who aren't, who need help around GATA. So I would love to work with you guys to, as that time comes, to do presentations to help familiarize people with that whole process and how to make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed and things like that.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So,
hi, hello. I have a question. How do I get in line for that help for GATA? How do I get the assistance? Can you repeat that for me?
Yeah, I'll send out a guide. There's a guide document that we use, and it explains, what you need to have in place and where to go to get that done.
And
I'll share that along with you.
Classic membership, the staff will help you as well.
No, Lita, you're muted, honey.
Okay, I was saying great. I'll be contacting you.
Ask for Beverly. She can help you. She's on here.
Great, thank you.
And Matt, a little bit about, we're a little familiar with the opportunity zones on the investment side. And you mentioned the civil unrest. And I can't remember the slide, but there were like 3 components on there. One was about an angel investment, the opportunity zones, which Gwen just did a panel with Anthony, who did an opportunity zone kind of investment initiative to do affordable housing in South Shore. But I saw a couple of other pieces on there, looks like resources. Would those investment zones help us rebuild are businesses that have been damaged, and or will it just help us, period? You know, we've got a lot of real estate, and one of the things Chatham Business Association is forming is the CDC, because part of improving the corridors is taking a property, helping rebuild it and remarketing it in partnership with the City of Chicago's Southwest Initiative. We're focusing on 79th Street. Will these help us? Part of the 79th Street is not in an opportunity zone. It doesn't qualify. But what about these other two, the Illinois Enterprise or the Illinois Angel Investment Tax Credit Program?
Yeah, so the enterprise, I want to say that the Opportunity Zone program has, there aren't any new opportunity zones being created, but there are existing, all of these are what you call geographically specific. So throughout the state, there are Illinois enterprise zones. I want to say Chicago has a number of different enterprise zone programs throughout the area, and that is specific geographic locations inside of the municipalities where they're incentivizing investment. And depending on the size of that investment, the size of the build out, the size of the amount of equipment purchased, or things like that, you can tap into incentives, which is cost reduction benefits. It's not really front end money that you get for making the investment, but it's back end tax benefits and sales tax exemptions and things like that. So it just kind of depends on where the business is located and what the size of the development is, where you can get those incentives. Enterprise zones will probably be the most readily available. I mean, they're throughout the whole state. Chicago has a number of enterprise zone programs. And but the angel investment piece and the opportunity zone piece, those are more specific, and those are where people who have money invest, and because of that investment, they get to shelter their money from taxes. And that's where, so those are like financial, that's more, so I'm more of a public administrator. I'm not so much like a financial advisor, expert type of person, but I just know that these things are in place to try to help incentivize investment. And we just provide those email addresses to help people get more info if you are at that level. I want to say enterprise zone is a lot more accessible to smaller businesses, because all the enterprise zones do this thing called the sales tax exemption. Whereas if your business happens to be in one of those geographic locations and you are doing, you're buying drywall, you can get exemption on the sales tax on that drywall. If you're buying new flooring, if you're getting piping, things like that. So that's why I say that one is a lot more accessible to us. It's not a big dollar amount thing, but the bigger the investment, the more you can benefit on the back end. So it's just good to know these things. It
is. Yeah, I appreciate
our people have, our people have money too. Our people want to know where to put some money as well. And I just like to get the information out.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Hey, Melinda, this is Tony. I would say on that, again, you got 6 very large empowerment zones in the city, 97 in the state. And it's easy for folks to think, oh, I'm not eligible for that, particularly that sales tax and another break. Absolutely worth investigating. And the same token, you got 133 opportunity zone sites in the city of Chicago compared to 327 in the entire state. So again, don't assume you don't have access to a benefit. Rather, do the homework and figure out whether or not you do.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that.
All right. Thank you all.
This was great information. Any other questions from any of our folks on the chat? I do want to also acknowledge that we have new business members. We have a new member who joined from Admirable Hospitality. They are purchasing the hotels on Cottage Grove and potentially the one on 76. So they're joining the membership right on 91st, and everybody remembers, I think, the former barbecue hotel Francis up there on 76. So we're glad that they're reaching out to us and working with us in partnership to bring a good business to the area. South Central Services renewed their membership. They are revamping as the rest of us as organizations under new leadership there. And then OSG Chicago also joined. So
the leaders on the call.
I'm sorry, she's here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We have to give her a clap, everybody, on the reaction.
And I also want to say, Mr. Glover is on the meeting. Sometimes he has problems with his connectivity. And earlier, I know Gwen tried to get the iPhone to say hello. So, hey, Mr. Glover, thank you for joining us.
As you know, we lost a very important community partner, Dr. Leon Finney, last week. So we're waiting to hear what the services are as we move forward. The goal is we have to look at leadership in our community from Mr. Gar forward and start determining how do we develop other business, our young men like Matt in the community who will help fight for us as collective instead of individuals. So we have to be mindful of that as a business community. We have had conversations with quite a few leaders, including, you'll hear from Carletta later, but you know, we've talked to young folks, the group of gentlemen in Inglewood who kind of stood off the protesters. We've been talking to the young social influencer corporate who has 1.2 million leaders, but followers. So the point is that we as a business community have to start, if we're truly leading, connecting with those people who have the voice of others. And I think part of it is directing them and introducing them to the business community at large, getting them involved in these projects and helping us get the communications out, similar to what Matt has done with us today, in a way that people can understand, digest it, and use it as necessary. So I say that with the loss of one, hopefully we're giving birth to another, but we as a village and a community have to be mindful of it and supportive of it.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, I just want to emphasize to all our members and your families and your friends and your community, do the census, please. We got till September 30th. The more that is counted dictates the funds that get into our communities, hospitals, schools. I don't know if you guys know, we've lost Mercy Hospital on the south side. And yeah, we definitely cannot be shy or dismiss the responsibility of make sure we and ours are being counted in the census.
Yes, we're glad to say at CBA with our census videos, last we checked, it was close to 700,000 viewers, thanks to a social influencer like corporate. So again, if we can get the message out about that, then we need to get the message that we're talking about today, that Black business is the answer to addressing the social ills and the civil unrest in the state of Illinois. And we are the answer to changing this.
I think that's a very important point you've made there. I just wanted to say that and acknowledge that we include the young adults and the teenagers who are so upset right now in discussions about their community and the businesses in their community, so that they feel more of a part of what we're trying to have in our community. So I just commend you for bringing that subject up.
No, we appreciate it. The other thing, Crystal, is with the, we're trying to, we're putting together information about teaming agreement and joint ventures for two reasons. One of the best assets we have in the community is our attorneys and our accountants that I think we don't utilize in the Black community enough. And then there's projects going on in the state of Illinois. Most of these projects are, despite COVID, believe me, they're large number projects. And we do not have enough Black businesses in terms of inventory to perform on them. One of the ways to do that is through joint ventures and through teaming agreements. And you need attorneys and accountants to successfully do that. So one of the focuses we are, obviously, as we talk to the railroads on these larger projects, as well as other state projects, local projects we have, be it from Lincoln Yards to what's going on at the county is, well, not the county, but what's the renovation with Cook County Hospital that's supposed to be a hotel, but it's a $100 million project. So, and even the Obama Library is not a small project. But one of the challenges, I believe, for Black businesses is that relationship in managing the teaming agreements and joint ventures. So we will be calling on our attorneys and calling on our legal field to help us facilitate those very important conversations moving forward. And not to mention the work you do with Crystal with our young people in terms of making sure, you know, the child abuse, the management of the household numbers have skyrocketed because we're not able to take care of our own. So again, all of those, I believe, stem from us having the relationships, the banking partners we have, making sure we access these resources, as Tony encouraged us to do. The good thing about Chatham Business Association is we try and make sure you know you're not alone. So if you're signing on to the website or you're getting these emails or you're calling that number that Matt gave and you're not getting answers, let us know. One, because we have people like Matt on cell phone and we have access so we can get to them. We have people at the SBA. So it's supposed to do what it does in terms of give us information. But in this era, sometimes things don't work as quickly and we're a little frustrated as well under these environments. So don't give up, don't do it alone. Call on us and let us help. We're here, we're on your team. Matt put his information in the chat. A lot of people are asking for his contact information. So it is there. If for some reason you can't get it, you can always call the office and we'll email it to you.
All right, Melinda, thank you too.
Let me suggest that also that we can reach out to the Cook County Bar Association, the Black Bar Association. I'm sure you probably have some of those contacts and let them know that you might want to have some type of collaboration or contact agreement so that when you are looking for African American lawyers for different things, even on a volunteer basis, that we're ready to get involved on some level.
Crystal, I'll reach out to you. One of the blessings that we have received is that we've been approached by Mayor Brown and some of the large corporations in this environment. People want to help, but we do recognize that through the intake process, a lot can be lost in translation. So we want to make sure we have interject and have that relationship with the Black lawyers in the area to help us work. Right. So I will reach out to you and see if you can help us facilitate that. Sure, having said that too, we're also working with the Arab Legal Business Association, who is, in addition to Black businesses, there are Arab businesses in the community who are suffering, who have gone or survived the civil unrest as well as COVID. So a lot of the commonality things is that businesses are having problems with the insurance claims because the language for different carriers meant different things. So while we're helping navigate through these collaborations are important. So Crystal, I'll definitely reach out to you about that.
Yeah, we'll make that happen.
Okay. Any other information or questions for Matt? today. I miss you all, and even though I don't see pictures, just hearing your voice is very helpful to us. We hope you know we're only, as the old people say, a stone's throw away. If you call the office, you're going to get Beverly or you're going to get Patlin. If you email, Carletta's very responsive to you. If you need help with technology, you cannot afford to sit on it. That's how you get access to the loans, the programs, the RFPs. And I don't see that changing soon. So don't think you can survive it and we may go back to normal. To be quite honest, you may not ever go back to normal. The other piece, and we're struggling with it as well, is that we've got to figure out how to stay afloat, either retrain our businesses, our employees, you've got to make decisions in terms of, you got to make changes in terms of COVID should have shown you as a business owner who really is invested with you in your business, who's trainable and who's not. And we're here to have those conversations with you because they are tough and they're emotional. The other piece as an employer, healthcare is very expensive. So we have to do a growth plan that allows you to have positive income so you can afford it. It's the #1 way to show that we care. We've been in conversations with Walgreens, who has been a big partner in trying to come up with some sort of small business partnership with them for small businesses who can't afford healthcare, but they have health centers. And, we've got to keep our employees healthy. So recommendations on what that should look like, we're thinking about seeing if we could use them. So I want to say as local clinics until, when your employee isn't feeling well, you can't ignore those conversations anymore, but it would be helpful to either, in our case, we're blessed to say, go to your doctor, but in other cases to say, at least let's get checked out. We kind of all are on the same page. So I think Richard's on the phone as well. He's our HR, but he's also available to help you think through that process because we have to be fair and these different policies, and you have to know what applies. So again, we bring Matt, we bring the banks, just to let you know you're not alone. Don't try and think we're already in isolation. We're all already under duress. Don't do this alone. I think it's not healthy. It's not good. We're here. We understand. Be frank, be open, and let us do what we can do. Again, through collaborations and the thing we did with Strength in Numbers, I met other leadership in other counties who have information that, again, once I know someone good, I'm going to introduce them to the membership. So let's keep those relationships open. Let's stay afloat. We, I believe, have an opportunity to generate wealth amongst this environment if we don't allow the current circumstances to paralyze us.
And also, even though we're going to have another presenter next month, Matt's going to come back and give us an update next month as well. On those
And I want, I think Tony hung up, but we're going to get Tony on the presentation as well. Him and Matt could tag team because PNC, as well as the other financial from Franja, I think what I probably need to do, they did it for the Congress folks, we probably need to do a banking only presentation because there was a lot of information that we were told were very good, and it was because we had them tag team and we had them all together. So we'll probably have to put that on the agenda as well.
Okay, just let me know, Melinda. I'll be glad to participate.
Okay, and have Matt come to all of those. I do see where some people are asking for Matt's contact. It is in here, but what we can do is make sure we email it just in case for some reason you're not getting it out of the chat.
I can share it again, if that'll be helpful. And then I just, if I can just make a closing remark real quick, I think that what you guys are doing, Melinda, and I want to thank you for joining the panel we had called Strength in Numbers, where we had a number of Black business development organizations from around the state on the panel, just discussing the value of just like the notion that Black business is a unique experience and it requires unique responses to the challenges we have, and nobody is going to do that for us. So what you guys are doing here at Chatham and what the brothers and sisters are doing across the state that we pulled together is really, you know, not even to speak in hyperbole, but it's really revolutionary work to consider that we have to come together in order to survive. You know, that's the nature of community, family, village. We always talk about it takes a village. That's the same for operating a business. It really does, you know, and I think a lot of our community's vulnerability is in our fractured networks, our weak networks. You know, we're under networked. So when something happens, we don't have somebody in our phone we can call for help. And what you're doing is bringing people in front of our community to say, hey, look, there's a person here for you, you know. And so now we have stronger networks. That's what, it's not gonna, it's gonna make us more resilient so we can survive. That's what's gonna do. And what you guys are doing is so important. I'm here for you as best as I can be. The businesses on the call, you are the solution, not me. You know, I have a job. I get a W-2 at the end of the year. I have a job. You guys are the heroes because you're creating opportunities, you're hiring people, you're redeveloping neighborhoods. That's the work. And we are here to help make sure you can be successful. And nobody's going to do that for us, but I'm in a position, and Chatham has put this thing together to be available to support you. And you got to know it's going to be very, very, it's simple, but it's not easy. And you can do it. And we're here to help you.
Correct. We need you to stay strong. We need you to stay diligent. We will get through this. Any other encouraging or closing remarks? Gwen, I'm turning it back over to you.
Thank you, Melinda. And we do appreciate our chairwoman, Melinda Kelly, for all that she does for the organization and for each one of us. I like to also encourage the businesses that are on the phone and those that know people that have businesses to make sure that they are sitting down with their insurance agents. A lot of businesses did not survive this COVID, the looting and everything with the civil unrest. They did not survive because they were not properly covered. So you need to sit down with your agent to see where you have gaps in coverage, because that's essentially what it is. It's gaps in coverage, or it's a lack of coverage, period, in terms of for your equipment, you know, for your windows. It's a lot of things that the little things that you can do to make sure that you're protected in the future. I would be more than happy to sit down with any of you and go over that with you and with your agent, for those of you that would feel comfortable doing so. So without any other questions or any other announcements, I just want to say thank you again for taking our time this morning. Please, please, please bring other people to the meeting next month. You know, we're doing everything as a new normal, and we've heard that many times. But what we like to see is more people for the next membership meeting. Okay, so bring someone with you to next week. Next month. I'm sorry, I keep saying next week. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon, Nolita, so you can get your work done.
I know, right? I'm calling right now.
She's been driving for a long time.
I have stuff from the airport.
Okay. So email me your information, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Okay. Crystal, you heard me? You're muted. I can't hear you. I'm assuming you said yes.
Okay. Yeah, let me do that right now. Yeah. Okay. You want me to put it in the chat or?
You got my email address? Here, let me send it to you.
Yeah, it should be on the material, right?
Down here, let me send it to you right quick. And my cell phone number before they shut us down.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get mine.
You're gonna shut it down, Alita. You don't have to worry about it. Just keep driving.
Okay, all right. I was trying to
yeah, just keep driving. Don't worry about it.
We got you. All you have to do, Alita, is call the office, and Beverly got you. 773-994-5006.
Okay, Thank you. That's what I was about to do, Colin. That's better for me. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah.
No,
You know,
Lita, did you get your membership login and password? I emailed it to you.
I believe I do have it. Yes, I'm gonna double check though. Yeah, you know what? I do have it because I had to change my password because I couldn't remember it. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Charles, for getting this
I also
done.
think I see Catherine on the line from CBA. I don't think she's introduced herself earlier, but I don't know if this is her or not. Okay.
All righty. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks. Thanks. I'm
Country
Catherine.
Financial is Country Financial is a great insurance company. We found out it does matter who you insure with when they
You got that right.
those
It
terms.
definitely
So make
does
sure you
matter.
got a reputable insurance company, please.
They're my insurance provider.
Thank you. Hey, Melinda.
Uh-huh.
You gotta update me on that hotel stuff too.
Did you all meet?
No, we have not met yet. I'll follow up with them today.
Okay, and I'll call her because I'm gotta meet with that. I need to, Palin, were you able to check on her business licensing she asked about?
So I couldn't get in touch with anyone at BACP, and I was working. I can't think of his name because Kenya was on vacation last week.
Okay.
She was on vacation last week, so
That's
I didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So I'm following up with that today.
So she's a startup. I didn't realize that she was a startup.
She's not a startup, but they're just now buying. Then they got other hotels. She's just buying those two for us too.
Okay. Okay. That changes what I said when I sent what I sent to her then. Because she wouldn't have had her insurance on it. I thought she was a current owner of that property already.
No, one she's closing on this week. The other one is coming up, but she needs insurance before we close.
Okay. Then
that was a crisis.
I need to jump on that
Her
then.
insurance company wouldn't, because of the looting, wouldn't insure her. I'm gonna
Oh,
call her today, and I've got a meeting with her tomorrow.
I don't think that's gonna be a problem for Country because of the looting. That's discrimination. Why are they doing that?
Well, we're gonna figure that out, but we're trying to get it through the closing first.
Yeah, that's redlining.
Yeah.